Hi, I'm Julie, and we're here at the Annapolis Pearl Gallery, and we're going to have a little one-on-one chat with one of our artists here. It's Dorothy Banzon. Dorothy shares a wall right now with me over here at the gallery. She's going to tell us a little bit about your background and actually how long have you been making art and what got you involved in this medium. Give me a little background on who you are.
Yeah, so I am the daughter of two artists. So I grew up in an artist household where there were materials around all the time. I just drew for fun with my friends, and we hung out, and art was just a way of being. And when I get older, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for a living, but I knew I wanted it to do something with art. So when I got to school, I still was undecided, but then figured, well, let's try graphic design because it was more of a career kind of move. And also I kind of never really thought of myself as someone who had a specific message that I wanted to get out as an artist. So I thought if graphic design would help me sort of give me the problem to solve, and I enjoyed that.
You seem to have a message now in your art. Have you found that in who you are, and are you conveying that in what you do?
Sort of. I think I'm still after it, but right now I know for myself that I enjoy making people happy through art. I don't want to do art that makes people feel sad, or I don't want it to be too emotional. I want it to be something that makes you feel good. And for me, when I'm out on the water, which I do a lot of sailing, that makes me feel happy, and so that's kind of where I've taken it.
Your colors definitely evoke happiness. The blues and the colors of the sea definitely convey that, so it's great. Tell me about your media that you work in. You're multi-talented.
So, thank you. Since I did graphic design for so many years, I did not really study any painting or drawing after college until I would say about 6 years ago. And I started with a drawing class, and then a friend of mine was doing painting and introduced me to this fantastic teacher. And so I studied with Walt Bartman out of the Yellow Barn Studios, and I just kept going because I enjoyed it so much.
And is that oil painting?
Oil painting. Okay. Oil painting. And at about the same time, I got an iPad with a stylus and Apple Pencil, and just to kind of get acclimated with it, figure out how I wanted to use it, I started doing pet portraits on it. And so I did a lot of pet portraits, and that's how I became proficient.
Can you explain the digital media a little bit for everyone? Because I'm not exactly clear on it. Are you taking photographs? Are you pulling them into the computer and then painting them?
Yeah, so there's tons of ways that you can use the iPad or a tablet to make art. I personally like to take my own photographs. That way I can compose.
You own it too. You own everything.
I own the rights to it, but can compose the composition, like make the composition the way that I want it. Sometimes if someone gives you a photograph, it's not always an amazing angle, so I like to take my own pictures, and then I use the picture to draw over it. Yeah, so
this is a piece of her digital work. So this was a photograph.
Yeah, so this was a photo that I took on a trip to Maine, and I crop way in on the picture to get a good composition, and then I use that photograph as a template to draw over. And I approach it more like a painting, even though it's drawing with a stylus. I approach it like a painting because I'm going around with the colors, trying to choose things that I think will make the colors vibrate and
So
come
you're
alive.
not using the exact colors that are in the actual
No.
photograph. You are really doing interpretive
Correct.
colorizing.
Correct. And
Cool.
it's not taking a photograph and then just kind of manipulating it to get it. It's really just using that as positioning.
It's a lot of work,
device, right?
because you're looking at every little teeny bit and painting it.
And I'm cleaning it up,
Mhm.
so I get rid of all the extraneous information. I make
So
it simplified.
Your digital is gorgeous. People love it. And you also do oil work. Do you have a favorite of the two, or are they totally different and you
Yeah, they're
appeal to both? Do you mind if I
completely
set this down?
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. They're completely different. I enjoy the process of putting paint down. I love the sort of the spontaneous things that happen when you mix a color on top of a color, and the brush strokes, you know, how they intermingle. I love that about paint. So, which you don't really get so much with, you can get it with the digital, but it's really different. It's just a tactile
Well, you
thing.
never stop learning either. You're taking classes now.
Mhm.
Where are you taking classes?
So I'm still studying with Walt Bartman, the
Okay.
oil painting. And then
Figure studies work?
the figure stuff I do to keep my coordination sharp.
Okay.
So my, you know, the way
Wow.
you see and draw.
Mhm.
So I do go to the figure drawing co-op
Mhm.
at Maryland Hall, and I usually what I do is I bring a pre-painted background with me.
Okay.
I paint just kind of willy-nilly
Mhm.
backgrounds, make, you know, nice color combinations, and then I take that on paper, take it to the figure drawing class, and then I just paint the figure on top of it.
Awesome.
And kind of
So you
integrate
can
it.
have a finished work, sort of,
Yeah.
while you're there in your
Yeah.
2 or 4 hour
Yeah.
class.
So most of them are quick.
Uh-huh.
Like this is just a 7-minute
Uh-huh.
study.
Wow, I could
You know?
never do that with cut paper. That's amazing.
And,
So, yeah.
Here's another one.
Mm-hmm. So your artistic influences, you mentioned Walt.
Yeah.
What other?
Oh,
Folks
my
have-
parents, of course.
Well, yes, okay.
So,
I've
yeah.
had the opportunity to see some of her parents' work, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so my father did enamel work, which is like powdered glass
Yes.
on copper,
Yeah.
and then you put it in a kiln. And he did, in the 70s, did op art, black and white,
Yes.
like the stuff that you
Mhm.
look at and get dizzy kind of stuff.
That's the big piece I saw in your house. It's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and he painted so many of those, which I still love. And then in his later years, he did abstract oil paintings, which were very dynamic and just all about the color combinations.
And I got to meet your adorable mom.
My mother, so both my parents actually met in advertising. They were
Really?
so yeah, so they were both in advertising also, as I was, you know, from
Yeah.
my graphic design
Mhm.
years, and my husband's in advertising. But so she started doing textile work, and she in the 70s wrote books on how to do macrame.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She's so cute. And her work is amazing too. Like your work is. So it's cool that you have the gene pool coming right at you.
Yeah.
It's very awesome. So Dorothy, what's next for you in your career and in your pursuit of perfection here?
Yeah. So I really do enjoy the digital work because I can do it anywhere, right? You don't need all the supplies, but I still love the feel of paint and want to keep doing more paint work. So I'm still trying to find that sweet spot of the more intuitive painting, but something that has meaning. So it's not, it's
But
not
happy
just-
meaning.
happy meaning, but
Right.
yeah, but not just, oh, I think I'll paint this today, but something that
Getting a little deeper.
think about a little
Yeah,
bit more,
wow,
right?
okay, good
So
for you.
trying to figure out where that's going, and hopefully through this next oil painting session, we'll learn. Every time I take a class, I get a little bit closer.
Right. I love your work, and I love both your digital and your oil, and she also does a lot of design work for the gallery too, so
Still doing graphic design.
yeah, so, and we really appreciate that. So please come to our beautiful gallery, the Annapolis Pearl Gallery, here at 32 West Street, directly across from Ram's Head, and see some of Dorothy's beautiful work. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for watching.